All right, so what's going on, guys? So I am back with an update finally. I know it's been a while, but I just got really busy. I had a lot of projects with the house that I had to do, and there's a few other things that I've been working on to get things straight. But we are back to get ready to work on the Galant and really make some huge progress. So I'm really happy to see the direction that we're going to move in, and we'll get into that in some future videos, but I want to go ahead and give you guys an actual update. So the first thing I'm actually excited about is I actually do have some shirts now. Now, these are pretty simple. This is just a black shirt with like a distressed print on it with the Galant on it. This is actually on the left chest, and there's nothing on the back. It's just a black shirt. I did have it on, but it's like 90 degrees out here and it's hot, and it's actually the second time I filmed this video because my mic wasn't plugged all the way in, so I was like, I'm not putting it back on. You guys see, again, it's just a black shirt with the Galant on the front of it. So if you'd like to support me and pick one up, go ahead, click that link down in the description of my Instagram, hit me up over there. We can get you one. I do have a few in stock. They'll ship really quickly. And so while you're over there, you probably noticed that I have some parts for sale. If you're looking to do the rear disc swap or want to upgrade the Brembos on your 4-cylinder, you're going to need the rear disc swap parts, essentially everything but the calipers. If you want to do the head swap for the Hyundai twin cam head, again, I can get you one of those as well. Just hit me up over there. Just message me on Instagram. Make sure you follow me. I will be doing a lot more updates on the car via Instagram now. Because a lot of the stuff I'll be doing isn't really video worthy in itself, but I do want to keep you guys updated, and I'm gonna do a better job, at least try to do a better job with updating on that. The first thing I kind of wanted to mention, the biggest change, I guess, is the fact that I have gotten rid of the Integra. That's right, I'm sad to say it. I was really looking forward to building the Integra, to doing the K swap and all-wheel drive swap, but what I came to realize is I was really just spreading myself too thin, and I wasn't really getting a whole lot done. I had actually spent over $9,000 in the Integra, and it was just a shell. And of course, I had the engine that had been reassembled and transmission, stuff like that. So that's a lot of money to go into something that's just sitting there. If you guys don't know, Trey gave me the Integra, but before that, O had given the Integra to Trey. So now I gave the Integra back to O, so he's going to continue with the project. I gave him the engine and transmission. He actually bought some of the upgrades from me, so he can continue with that. So we will still have some Integra updates in the future. Hopefully we'll get to see it running sooner rather than later. But we'll see how that really plays out. Of course, you guys know, you see the Galant back here is completely bare. I have stripped everything. I'm going to be redoing the wiring for my gauges. I just really wasn't happy with how that is. And of course, it'll be a lot easier to do once it is empty. But I'm going to be doing some of the same things I was doing on the Integra with the engine bay on this. In case you're wondering, no, I did not blow the motor. The motor is actually over here. As you can see, there are no holes in it. It is still intact, but I pulled it because we will be changing a few things on the setup. In case you're wondering, yes, this is still the stock block. It actually still has a little tag from the junkyard that they put on it. So this is still a stock block. Some people were questioning whether or not I had secretly done like a H-beam piston setup to run the sort of power that we were making. I don't know if I ever posted on YouTube, but on Instagram you can see at one point we were hitting about 28 PSI. On that eBay turbo, which kept blowing, which led to me buying the Precision. Now, in all fairness, if you're looking to do a budget build, the eBay turbo is probably still not a bad route to go, but because even the seller lists in their description that those things are really only good for up to 2 bar, which is about 28 PSI. So you can imagine running a cheap turbo at its limit, it's not going to last that long. The spool was a little bit slower than like a name brand, the Garrett or Precision is what we noticed, but it gets the job done. So if you're only looking for 300 horsepower, so which still makes for a very fun car, again, by all means, go ahead and go with one of those. Just be aware that it's probably still not going to last as long. With the Precision turbo and with the car being down so long, I decided to go ahead and stop messing around and go with a built motor. So this thing is actually going to be getting a whole new motor, most of which the parts, I have most of the parts already, and at this point I'm kind of just waiting on the machine shop. It's really just a waiting game for me to get things installed. I'm hoping to be able to make it to the track and get a clean pass here before the season ends this year. But like I said, that's not really up to me entirely at this point. I'm kind of waiting on other people. So we'll see how that goes, if we can get the engine built and assembled and, get it tuned and then be able to make a clean pass. Because I'm fairly certain that if we can just get down the track, make a clean pass, we'll set a record for the fastest HN in the world. Fortunately, that's not saying a whole lot because the bar is set pretty low, but I think we can do it for the end of the year, so we'll see how that goes, as long as I don't run into too many obstacles at this point. So like I was just saying, some of the things, I'm making this more of a purpose-built car, so I am getting rid of power steering. In the conventional way, I'm getting rid of the AC. As far as the power steering, of course, on your normal car, you have this pulley and this pump here is attached to it. It's belt driven. It actually creates a bit of load on the engine. I plan on switching to a electronic power steering. Now the two ways I have looked into doing that is either using the Volvo unit or the Prius unit. So the Volvo unit is still uses hydraulic fluid, but it uses an electric motor instead of being belt driven. That's one way of doing it. It's really popular. Probably the simplest way to do it, but the way I'm hoping to do it is using this guy down here, which is the Prius steering column. You can see it has a motor on it and this little brain control module that hooks up to it, and it should be the simplest way to do it because I like how compact it is, and again that will eliminate having to use any hydraulic fluid or anything like that. So that's why I have the factory steering column out. I'm just trying to mock things up, and once I figure that out, I will let you guys know, and I'll do a video on that for you guys. So hopefully that works. I'm looking forward to seeing how that gets done, and it'll test some of my fabrication skills. If we go to the inside of the car, see, the inside of the car is completely gutted right now. Most of it is on my parts wall. Some of it's actually in the trunk. But this is a whole new harness, new to me anyway, relatively speaking, harness, because the issue I was having, I don't know if I told this story, I believe it was an electrical issue, and I couldn't really find any cause for it. So I'm going to simplify this by replacing the whole thing. I've already combed through this looking for broken plugs and broken wires. So this is in decent shape. I know this looks like a mess, but swapping a harness is not that big a deal because most of these plugs can only go in one place. Now with that, and if I hadn't already, the reason the car has been sitting for so long is actually because I was doing a pull one night, and in the top of like third gear, which is, you know, triple digits, the car just cut off. Like, it went completely black, engine cut off, everything. And of course, it definitely makes you pucker up a little bit. I was able to get the car cut back on and limp it back home. But then after that, I could never get the car to run consistently. You know, it would start up, it would run, it would bog, and it would cut off, and I couldn't figure out why. So I tested everything I could, and eventually just got frustrated with it and decided to, you know, just put it to the side. And unfortunately, I put it to the side for a really long time, much longer than anticipated. But we're going to refocus on the car and get it done with a lot of upgrades. And like I said, not having the Integra and being able to make a little bit of money off of that is going to help me do that. So big things are coming for the Galant. Like I said, if you want to support me by picking up any of my merch or any of the parts that I do offer, go ahead and hit me up on Instagram. Again, that link is down in the description. I want to thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys later.